That's my karaoke song.
I think this is a pretty hard karaoke song.
That song pumps me up, probably. But I mean, what else am I going to do? Hit him up?
What's the UFC this weekend? Did you guys watch the UFC?
I haven't watched UFC in months.
I did. I caught it.
Just the Francis Ngannou fight.
It was.
I just don't have the patience to like keep up with everyone's storyline anymore.
I mean, it's pretty sick that he was able to win that fight without an MCL.
That was impressive as hell. Tyson Fury challenged him to a fight. I think he should take it.
The money, get out, yeah.
Hell yeah, he's gonna make his money and get out of UFC.
Through the UFC, do a boxing match, make what, $4 or $5 million on a fight, call it a career.
Oh, it's mad petty.
I'll make more than that.
Yeah, actually, $4 or $5 million. What am I talking about? That's nothing.
Yeah.
Sometimes my head has a hard time.
That's like one house in Toronto.
We're not going to even go back to the real estate talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Today we're not even touching the real estate, or I guess we're touching COVID. Let's just jump right into it.
Just talking? Well, what's the show about? It's about nothing. It's about nothing.
Just want these guys to know you got another thing coming, bitch. I'm still around.
Hey, yo, what's good, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to Much Ado About Nothing. One thing I was thinking about is, do we need a new friggin' title, or is Much Ado About Nothing good still? Thoughts?
I mean, let's leave it to some comments. I'm okay with the name change.
Only reason I think about a name change is SEO. You type Much Ado About Nothing, we're nowhere to be found, and there's like 12 other podcasts.
Yeah, I saw there's other podcasts with this name too. Exactly.
And so I was like, hold on, how do I tell people that our podcast is Much Ado About Nothing and them being able to actually find us? But what would we call it? Like,
to think on the fly like that?
Like, I can't even think of anything.
Yeah, no, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Basically, it's the COVID that's killing me. It's so hard to think. To think.
Listen. I need you to friggin' man the fuck up and stop having COVID as an excuse as to why you can't think or participate in video games or friggin' talk on your... I don't know. This guy legit was like, yo, I'll play Halo with you. I messaged him like, yo, down run Halo? He's like, bro, I'm in so much pain. Gay. And I was like, what? Pain? Gay. I thought maybe he means to say pain guy, but I don't know, for some reason it just didn't make sense to me. And I'm like, hold on, are you hitting on me? Is this your coming out of the closet moment? Because I'm just telling you that if you ever needed someone, I'm here for you.
Well, thank you. But it was a typo. I'm just in pain, guy. But a little bit of gay comes out once in a while. It's okay. It's 21st century.
So yeah, I need you to stop with this COVID nonsense, because if you know anything about COVID, is it's not real. And
That's COVID.
We have a rally of trucks marching onto Parliament on our behalf this weekend when no one's in Parliament. And
in minus 30 weather. Minus 30.
But yo, that minus 30 is respectable.
You guys.
Yeah. And they've gotten support. Elon Musk tweeted saying he supports Canadian truckers.
Who did? Oh, Elon, yeah.
It's very Elon.
Yeah.
Did you see the replies to the tweet?
Russell Brand.
They're like, vaccinated Canadians are doing an amazing job. Should be congratulated. There's all these responses to vaccinated truck drivers. So I don't see the point of him putting that tweet up.
So I have a question. Hold on. Is Elon a crack, or is his honesty welcome?
Well, what did he name his kid?
I can't even begin.
So I think that answers the question.
But I think that was done intentionally. Like, I think they gave their kid a real name, but then they released this hack name so that people wouldn't be able to harass his kid. I mean, clearly his kid's going to get harassed for having a name like that being announced. But it makes it hard for people to actually identify. Or I think it was more of a security thing that he did with that.
Good guy.
I'm not sure. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, I think going back to your question, I think he is a bit of a crack.
All right, one vote for crack. Robbie,
or crackhead, but would
crack
say
or genius.
He's out there, wants to be on the moon, or Mars, or wherever he wants to go. So leave it at that. Yeah, I don't know why he.
But don't we
like it? But then
don't we want that out of our people is like them to be honest and be themselves? Because aren't we all always saying like, these suits, these politicians, they all say the same shit. None of them.
No, I let me put it this way. He's a crack, but I love his disruption personality and his. I guess he's uncensored. I admire that. It's kind of fun.
Like the SEC had to friggin' tell him to like shut up.
Fine, right? Yeah.
Because stuff that he would do that they'd say would indirectly pump his stocks and stuff. And now he has like a lawyer that checks his tweets before they go out to make sure that they're not.
The truckers are like a fringe element. Then imagine like the boost of morale you're getting when like the richest man in the world is like pumping you up.
I wanna put a pin on this trucker shit. This protest is not a truckers' protest. This has nothing to do with trucking. It's all bullshit.
I mean,
and they don't represent truckers whatsoever.
Are you sure about
that? Because
who are you to gatekeep truckers?
I'm part of that community. Okay, so as being part of that trucking community, I can say that the vast majority of truckers, when I say vast majority, I mean 90% or more, are vaccinated. So this is not a trucking protest. Let me put it this way. The USA is the one with the mandate as well, saying only vaccinated truckers can come into our country. So if the best, I guess, most profitable routes from all the large carriers is going to the US, well, they're going to require all their drivers to be vaccinated. So they're all vaccinated. The majority of these drivers are vaccinated. The only place you have gray area are people who can drive in, local and city. They're the ones who might not be.
Didn't Canada drop its mandate? Because I thought they were introducing this policy, and then there was like some sort of like backlash, and then the Minister of Transport's like, you know what, we'll drop it. Maybe they knew that America is still doing it anyway, so it doesn't really matter if they have it or not.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, the USA having it alone is gonna force every company to be like, hey, I don't have work for you unless you're vaccinated, because I need you to go to the States, and if you can't go to the States, you can't work for us. It's no different than them requiring, their drivers having clean background checks so they're able to cross the border and get a fast card, right? So they have to have that. It's just a part of the work. You need to be able to cross over. If you're not eligible, then you can't work for a lot of carriers.
Is that good though? Should people be forced to take the jab to work, Robbie?
They can work domestically.
Doctors.
I mean, they can drive across the country. So I mean, and going into, shouldn't you be upset with them first?
Say that again. You cut out.
No.
No. No.
All right, just chime in whenever you hear us, because don't wait for me to pass it back to you, because I'm having. I can't tell if you're listening or not. I feel like you can listen, but I feel like your mic is cutting you off.
You guys go ahead. I'll keep listening. Yeah. I'll keep listening.
But no, I mean, look, as far as vaccinations go, the more people that are vaccinated, the better it is. I'm just gonna tip my hat to science. I don't look at what's on my labels on my food. I don't pretend to be an expert on all those different chemicals. I'm not going to pretend to know what goes into a vaccine. So if I don't care about what's in my Coca-Cola, then I'm not going to care about what's in my vaccine. If my doctor says take it, I'm going to trust
That's an interesting thing, like people drinking Coke but being against the vaccine.
Yeah. Or, hitting a line and they don't... And then tell me that vaccines are bad for you. It's kind of crazy.
One of the things that's come up out of this was so we saw one prominent politician, Jagmeet's brother-in-law, donating $13,000 to the convoy, and he promptly issued a statement saying he didn't know what it was going to. He's just, he was a little ignorant towards it. We're trying to get him his money back. Apparently, on Instagram, one of his boys said, nah, he knows exactly where it's going, etc. They just changed his thing to Anon on the donation, though. Ford's daughter, she's been all over this protest, partying it up with truckers everywhere. Should politicians be held accountable for what their relatives' political opinions might be if they differ from their own?
Should and what actually happens are very different things, man. Should, probably not. But have they been held accountable for what their close relatives, immediate family do? Yeah.
Is it just the papers looking for a story? Because Ford's gotten a big chunk of that. Like, anytime Ford's daughter farts, they kind of bring her up. And now Jagmeet's brother-in-law, anytime they can connect him into anything, they're bringing that up.
Yeah, I feel bad for him a bit because the brother-in-law connection is kind of fringe. If in far as the Gora concept of family is the traditional Western concept, it's not really part of your nuclear family, as far as opposed to for its daughter. But as if in Punjabi context, yeah, brother-in-law is fair game. So I don't know. I guess now that he's brought to the limelight once, he'll always be around there.
I mean, he's in that Google search index. Like you type that name, it just comes up first thing Jagmeet's brother-in-law.
This is brother-in-law as in Sala, right? Am I correct?
Yeah. No, it's his sister-in-law's husband.
Oh, Prona.
So it's not even
Sandu.
Yeah, that's his Sandu.
Got it.
But yeah, it's kind of a far connection for I think most people to be like linked back to, because you're like, look, what am I supposed to do with him? I didn't choose him. He didn't choose me. We weren't really born together or
the same family. Yeah, it's like they're BFFs from back in the day.
It's an interesting, but
that sucks.
Like the amount of flack people get over it.
No, but whatever. I mean, regardless, Jagmeet took the hard stand against his brother-in-law, and it's pretty sick that he did. Good guy and all, but I rarely agree with his politics. But on this, he's on point because all these guys in Ottawa are pretty stupid. The approach is pretty dumb. I got into so many debates.
Over the Freedom Convoy. You don't want to be called the truck.
Yeah, call it Freedom Convoy. Sure, call it
Freedom Convoy. What are your thoughts on Sikhs joining it?
Robbie, I don't know where you stand on this, but fine. I'm like Sikhs don't fall under a banner or any spectrum on the political spectrum. So there's diversity in our ranks. That's great, good for you. I mean, I think you're stupid, but you're allowed to be. There's no different than every community has a range of people that are like pro-vaccine, anti-vaccine, and just a lot of people stuck in the middle. I find myself being one of them. Like a lot of these mandates don't make sense. It's kind of stupid. But is it worth protesting and making all this noise? No. It's just a secret agenda of like some extremists, I think, man.
The ones who are rallying for freedom?
The pure blood. Yeah, the pure blood people.
I remember.
Yeah.
I didn't even catch that when that person tweeted at me, and I was just trying to troll them because I'm like, I don't get what your image is. And then they blocked me right away, and then you saw that their bio had pure blood.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid argument, but it's someone made a point to me, a good friend of Varshan, the staffer. He's making a point that the media will portray a couple of bad apples who might have extremist views and say the entire convoy is like that. But man, like, you're painting things in broad stroke if you're trying to paint the general group innocent and only a couple of bad apples. The organizers, the underlying theme is, anti-Trudeau, anti-vaccine, and his vaccines, and maybe a bit of separatism, and definitely a lot of white nationalism. I'm not going to be stupid. I'm not a politician. I don't have to be fair. If I see the most loudest voices for this movement being those type of voices, I'm going to associate it with that. I have no problem with that.
Fair enough. But a lot of Punjabi guys, they seemed like they were kind of saying, hey, you guys are welcoming tyranny. You're not standing up for your beliefs. You need to be protesting with these guys, and you can't let the media convince you that it's all white nationalists.
Yeah, so the Veilers can do that. Everybody else is busy doing overtime and working. If you feel like protesting and wasting your time there, go for it. But yeah, you don't represent Canada. I mean, 80% plus is vaccinated. So let's take that out of the picture. You don't represent Canada. I don't know what percentage of Sikhs are vaccinated, but I'll venture to say it's a safe bet that we're just as vaccinated as general Canadians. I don't think we're on the low end, maybe not on the highest end, but let's say we're in and around 80% too. So you don't represent Sikhs either, man. Like, get the fuck out of here.
The one thing that kind of stood out to me here was, when Panay go to like BLM protests or Sikhs for Palestine and stuff, and we definitely have like part of the community who's kind of speaks out against them, saying you leftists shouldn't be like here under the Sikh banner because it's not a Sikhi cause that you're really representing here. Is this like the opposite of that? For the leftists to look at these guys and be like, you guys shouldn't be at these freedom protests under the Sikh banner?
100%.
Is this like the opposite end of that allyship of where people criticize some people for being allies with groups that they say will never reciprocate it for you? Now these guys are allying up with like white nationalists or whoever it is, and with the same notion of these guys aren't the people you think they are. They're not the ones that are going to reciprocate. They're not showing up to negotiate things for you.
Yeah. It's like that movement in the U.S. Robbie's boy, what's his name? That Robinson guy. You know what I'm talking about? The leader of the separatist movement. Robbie, you know what I'm talking about.
The UK guy, not American, right?
Yeah, it's Tommy. I want to say Tommy Robinson.
Tommy.
Like
Can you guys
Tommy's
hear me?
A very British type name.
Yeah.
He's
Robbie. Hear me now? All right.
Robbie's boy.
Been waiting. Yeah. I've been waiting to chime in.
Yes.
Robbie's been like trying so hard. He's been trying so hard to get in here.
Look at
yes.
In the UK, Robbie, correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of Punjabis jumped on that his bandwagon or his movement, and they were at first, this group of, I guess, British white nationalists used to persecute anybody who's Asian, but they carved out an exception for Punjabis because they're like, yo, you guys are good, loyal British, soldiers, and you're not Muslims, so we're cool with you.
That's what it came down to, right? It's like you guys are beefing with Muslims. We're beefing with Muslims.
Yeah, it's so weird
we're
when
all
you
on the same page here. Let's just all get along.
They're just like, you pay taxes, more or less. It's fine.
Well, there's a bunch of that. Like I remember when I was there, there was something called the English Defence League. I might be wrong, but they had one Punjabi guy, wearing a pug.
That's it. That's it.
What? It's so ridiculous. It's kind of like, remember the Blacks for Trump during the last election or the first election, where he would say something racist, but they're like, no, that's not the real Donald Trump. Like, you just keep excusing these allegiances or alliances that you have. I think it's just they have nothing better to do, man. Seriously. If you're not included in that group, you always have to, well, I'm a Sikh and I'm part of this group, or look at me, I'm still, like, it's important in the situation. I think it's stupid. If you want to go to that protest and you want to protest with truckers, I don't see what you be.
Hold on, Randy wants to correct this statement here. It's not.
It's not sorry. It's Freedom Convoy or Crack Convoy, whatever it is, or Redneck Convoy.
Randy just make sure that truckers don't get dragged into this.
Yeah, there's nothing.
I don't
surrounded
see
by the truck.
What anything to do with it. If you don't agree with the mandates, go protest that. But then when you start, putting labels and allegiances, it just it becomes into something else. So the whole protest is genuine, and they want to protest those mandates. Cool, go protest groups, these fringe elements joining that, and I just don't see what the end point is. Let's say they do get to Ottawa.
But here's the thing about the Ottawa thing. Did you see the text message that went out to everyone and got posted on social media saying, hey, all my freedom-loving brothers and all you Aryan soldiers of freedom, if you're hungry, by all means come to a Gurdwara in the Peen. There's going to be warm cha waiting for you. Just show up. And then the Gurdwara is like, yo, hold up. One, we're kind of limited functionality right now because of COVID and vaccine rules and all that kind of stuff. And number two, don't fucking show up here.
Yeah.
To the point where they're like, we don't know what to do anymore, so we're just going to close the Gurdwara down for the weekend.
Yeah. I get the sentiment, man. Like, when I say I get the sentiment, I kind of agree with it. But
which part?
You can't close down a Gurdwara. Look, these people, I think this whole movement is pretty dumb. Movement, so in that sense, like, Gurdwara shouldn't be a base camp for idiots. Just to damn it, Robbie. But yeah, in principle, you can't really shut down a Gurdwara. So I object to that. But I got to think of it this way. Let's say the Gurdwara took the view that these people are the enemy of the Panth and we're going to close our door to them. That's okay.
Has the Gurdwara considered someone an enemy in terms of you can't come here for
I thought it was open.
Well, Gurdwaras was used as a battlefield once, so hunkering that down. Yeah, so hunkering that down and restricting access to areas or even the bar itself. I don't think that's wrong. I think that's fine. Fine, this is an ideological war, and you kind of open the gates to any civil disagreement, not letting people in. That's probably not cool. But man, whatever. I'm gonna be a bit of a jut about it and be like, that's fine.
It's a good business opportunity. We could go sell samosas because truckers love samosas. And
yeah,
just a top bar. Just there's gonna be a bunch of Punjabi truckers there, and we can open a top bar.
There's not gonna be that many Punjabi truckers there. The Punjabi truckers are working, Robbie. This is not a truckers movement. Punjabi truckers are not there. None of the big trucking companies are
Jagmeet's brother was doing
or being part of this.
I know we've already touched on this, but I didn't get to say it, so
yeah.
You just want to remind people.
I'm sure people have donated, but individually. But as an organization, I don't really see anybody backing them. But yeah, man. So as far as truckers go, no, Punjabi truckers are not about this. Generally,
one thing people don't realize is Ottawa's a fair size Sikh Sangat, but I don't think they could sustain any sort of emergency relief thing in this kind of situation. Could they? You've been in Ottawa way more than I have.
Ottawa Gurdwara has changed since ours days, Shinda. I guess it's probably run more in line with how we expect Toronto Gurdwaras to be run.
Okay.
It's getting closer to that.
It's not
as far as manpower goes, I think there's a huge boom in Ottawa now, population-wise, our population-wise. So they might be able to, man. I think the Sangat's more involved, but yeah, it's still not at Toronto levels.
I just imagine, say, 1,000. I don't know how big this protest rally is or what numbers, because I haven't really seen legit pictures from it. Sometimes people post pictures and it's just normal highway traffic, and you can't tell which part of the convoy is part of the convoy, what part's just truckers using the 401, the busiest highway in North America, to move their regular goods and stuff. And then you get a lot of false information on social media, as social media has become known for, where people are taking pictures from Germany 2019 and 2021 and saying, look at this truck rally. And someone in the comments is there's not even any snow in there. That's not Canada.
Yeah. So are you telling me that the protest isn't 2,400 kilometers long?
I mean, that, again, do people not even know what they're saying, right? They're the protest is entering Ottawa and now just leaving friggin' Vancouver. They're legit counting regular traffic, it seems, but I haven't seen an aerial drone shot of what's going on. And my point being, I don't think if it was, let's give them the benefit of the doubt that it is a huge movement. If those people did show up to the Gurdwara, people would be like, yo, these guys are smoking, they're not covering their hair. It's hard imagine being mad at being told what to do, that you're going to Ottawa to protest, showing up to a Gurdwara and the Gurdwara telling you have to cover your hair and take your shoes off before we can serve you.
Wash your hands.
The one point they did make is a lot of the protesters, sorry, not the drivers, the protesters had indicated that they would not be wearing masks either. Establishments not wearing
Mm-hmm. So they're putting
that's enough reason to not let people into the Gurdwara. If you don't wear a mask, you can't come in. So you don't even need to justify it otherwise, right?
Yeah, but these people, they're gonna say we don't care about any mandate anyways, right? That's the whole point. They're gonna push that. And poor Gurdwara, like any other Gurdwara in Ontario, is gonna have to enforce mask mandates. Although I think they do it pretty loosely here too.
I mean, yeah, but it was the opposite of that, right? When terrorist attacks happened, and I remember Barcelona had a bombing, and people were like, "Here's a local Gurdwara. If you guys need trouble, go to the Gurdwara right here." And no one decided to check that Gurdwara's hey, can you guys even accommodate for any sort of emergency relief?
Yeah. Or wasn't that one guy really famous for it, that Kukreja guy or whatever?
Yeah, Kukreja would just volunteer any local Gurdwara, and he'd here's all the Gurdwara feel knowledge of for a cause that they didn't even know about or want to be part of or weren't prepared to be part of.
Yeah, 100%, man. But I think the default should always be that the Gurdwara would probably want to help, But yeah, in smaller cities where there's not a lot of like Sangat and
So let's
Sewdars,
say,
it's just not practically possible,
there was a
right?
news report today that there have been out other police forces for possible backup in Ottawa, and so I would yeah, and I think the intention there would be that they might think that this thing might get violent. Do you think we'll get to the point of where it was like with the rushing of the Capitol in the States? Do you think these guys would uh, get to that point, or do you think it's going to kind of be they get there, they say what they have to say, then they leave?
Yeah, I
I think
mean,
the security would be better
y-
after that. And we've had that case in Ottawa 2 years ago or 3 years ago where someone actually did get into Parliament and were
Yeah,
able to kill a
2
security
years.
that
guard.
was like 2013, bro.
Was it?
Yeah, yeah,
My brain just mushes time all together.
yeah.
Like I legit just time is just one little bulb. It's been that long. But yeah, I just think security and stuff on Parliament Hill has been toughened up enough that they'll quickly be able to lock doors and all that kind of stuff.
Right, but here's one issue that's gonna come up. One, this convoy is made up of all nut jobs and crazies. They're going there because they think they can get Trudeau to resign and take back the mandate, both of which are not going to happen. So when that doesn't happen, what's going to be the result? Are they going to storm Parliament Hill? Maybe. Are they going to just hunker down and try to pull a Punjabi farmer protest? They'll try, but I don't think they have that kind of resolve.
Yeah, 100%. They don't have that resolve, man. These guys don't look like they could go 2 days without a proper meal.
Yeah,
But I guess a proper meal.
no,
McDonald's
they're
or
not going to set up showers and
Flying
bathrooms
J's,
and
man. Come
restaurants on the side of the road either.
Just pull a truck stop and
Yeah. And I don't see like the Ottawa establishment being very hospitable to all these guys. Still a civil servant city, so yeah. To be honest, it's gonna be a under on the face of anybody who's supporting this, even on social media. It's gonna be huge under on the face of like O'Toole, Pierre, and just about any politician that's kind of aligned themselves with this movement. It'll be even worse though if someone tries to do something stupid and
But
slightly
isn't it
violent.
under the face of like, hold on, isn't it under on the face of like Trudeau, who has to be in isolation now because his kid had COVID and he
I think
will
that was-
not be available for a comment or
that was an awesome by him.
it just seems like his isolation seems very conveniently timed.
Right. Yeah. Anybody who likes Trudeau is going to say he's playing chess while the convoy guys are playing checkers. The convoy people are going to say Trudeau's a pussy and a dumb drama teacher. But at the end of the day, like this convoy is going to fail. They're not going to get what they want on either points, whether they see Trudeau there or not. So who gives a shit?
Is it just me or could the media be blowing this whole thing out of proportion? I like legit don't know. Because I know the one thing that bugged me was everyone on the convoy side was like, why isn't mainstream media covering
I
this?
mean,
And
there's
I'm like,
no-
holy
what's-
smokes, the media won't shut up about this. Like every single article in the Globe and Mail, like 8 articles were written on it. CTV and everyone, all they want to do is talk about it. News Talk Radio, it's like, where is the convoy now? And here's like 5 talking heads' opinions on it. In my opinion, the convoy has gotten more media coverage than anything recently. Like the media is loving this. This is straight views and clicks. Is
no
it blown
news
out of
story
proportion?
in Canada, is there? Other than COVID, we're so COVIDed out that's it's not interesting anymore. And so politics is boring. There's no real news in sports. I mean, we got the
Yeah.
Russia crisis going on, but
No, hold on. I want to take that back.
that's
Canadian
yes.
men's national soccer team, that has to be a story worth talking about.
Hell yeah.
If we're talking about what's going on in sports, right? And then what's happening in the NFL, like some of the best NFL. I'm not saying you're wrong about something.
No,
I just think
what I
sports isn't where we're lacking for stories.
And even on the world front, Robbie, like Russia, that's
nationally,
Russia, Ukraine's a pretty big
from
story
a Canadian
too.
perspective. Think about the newspaper subscribers. What's the story? Has anything really happened? No, like it's just
I mean, is it not the 93 graves they found at that residential school, right? Recently. Not anymore.
I think it's been a slow news month for them. So why not, right?
Yeah, it's been a dry little bit. Yeah, I just don't get the like. I haven't really seen proper pictures of the protest, so I have a very hard time of understanding just how big and how all encompassing it. Like people showed that picture from outside of Bass Pro Shop in Vaughan, and I'm like, that's legit a parking lot kegger. That's they see hall parties have way more people than that. Like an Indian wedding.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Are they driving slowly? Are they driving slowly, or are they just passing through? I'm confused.
They were passing through, yeah, and setting up, I guess, stopping along the way. I don't know, but now they're in Ottawa.
Have they gone past out through the GTA already?
They're in Ottawa, man. They're in Ottawa.
Oh,
they're in Kingston this morning.
Okay, so I need a radar showing me exactly how they were moving.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, is there's people are stopping on the route on the highways.
But have they, like the core group protested? Like, have they gotten out and
I'm gonna pull up
did speeches, or is it just they're just waiting to?
I mean, I haven't seen any speeches by any of their top people. I've just seen pictures and of people at the rallies celebrating and having like a good old time, yelling freedom as if they're William Wallace.
Right.
I really want someone to have the blue face.
So
William Wallace running around. Like I need that. That's
so this morning. Kingston Police put out a tweet at 9:30 in the morning. This gave an update on the convoy. They've counted 17 full tractor trailers.
17.
17. 17.
100. That's a lot of trucks, buddy. No, it's not.
104 trucks. 104 trucks without trailers.
Okay. 17 with trailers. 104 with that's a decent sized number.
Yeah, no? that's what 10% of our country's truck driving force. No, that's not even one company. 424 passenger vehicles, 6 RVs. It's a bunch of
3 minutes on the 410 volume, so that's not a large amount of people.
Yeah. This is representing freedom in Canada. So good job.
So you agree that in my opinion, the media is blowing this out of proportion. Like there's more freaking trucks it sounds like a Nuggerkeith has more population than what this rally is gonna pull in Ottawa. Toronto downtown.
You know, whatever. Power to. You know what? I'll put
be a bigger rally.
100%. Like, let's not use Nuggerkeith numbers.
I just like using Nuggerkeith because I feel like I understand what a Nuggerkeith junta looks like and how that feels packed. So that's why I got to go back to the Nuggerkeith. Nuggerkeith math, everyone like conflates the numbers of total number of people that were at the Nuggerkeith.
I'm sure someone will have a drone.
I feel like that's what's happening here.
Yeah, like we're with like 60,000, and then they actually say like 110,000 or something like that.
Or it's really like 7,000. The next guy's like 24,000 people.
Yeah,
like what would you? It's like guessing the number of jelly beans, really, without having any sort of. But people are pissed off at the media for a reason. No, is it like fair that the media kind of like for me the media blowing this out of proportion? Shouldn't that give me some sort of mistrust on what the media says?
Yeah, come on, man. We're not kids. Every media has its skew. We know what the Post is skewed towards, the Globe and Mail, the Sun, the Toronto Star. Like, they're not quiet about their inherent biases or the way they frame things. So, take it with a grain of salt. CBC is pretty liberal. Fine.
News is absolutely.
Read into it that way.
Who gives a shit? Like, anyways, right? You read it for yourself. You test it. You decipher it. You make your conclusion, and you move on. I mean, to be on a war on the media, you got too much time on your hands, in my opinion. You know.
and too many tinfoil bugs are, concerned about it, and all these conspiracy theories.
Truckers.
All right, I want to switch this up, but that's enough truck talk. Boba Fett's overrated. I'm gonna just I just gotta get this out there.
So Boba Fett.
Man. I haven't watched this week's episode. Everyone said week's episode was one of the best episodes this season. It came out Wednesday night. It's Friday night. Friday night's when I usually catch up on some TV. I have not watched Boba Fett yet.
I'm gonna watch it after this.
In my opinion, my last week's episode, after the last podcast, I watched the last episode. I almost fell asleep.
That has nothing to do with the show.
That's how bad it was.
You're old.
It's called.
Oh, Shinda left. Shinda's having technical difficulties.
You were calling me old.
Whatever. I
can't hear.
But yeah, I honestly find Boba Fett boring. Can't hear me?
My only beef with
No.
that show is that it's moving at a snail pace because they go into his backstory with the Sand Dune people too much. They should have just got it done with in a couple of episodes, but they keep going back to it. And I find that part annoying, but the rest of it is fucking amazing. I love what Guy Favreau's doing with all this kind of stuff.
Who's Guy Favreau?
Whatever you say.
Who's
How do you say his
the
name?
French cousin of Guy Favreau?
Guy. Is that French Canadian? Yeah. Whatever.
This guy went full
John.
Montreal on us. I don't know. The
Watch
pacing of the show is
this
not the
week's
same as
episode. Trust
Mandalorian.
me.
I thought Mandalorian had a
Trust
great
me.
pace.
This week's episode, trust
This
me.
show's
Watch it.
pace is so. I mean, I am going to watch it, but I just wanted to put it out there that I don't think this show is a. I mean, I don't think it's contentious to say it was never supposed to be like a great TV show. It's aimed at Star Wars people and like Star Trek. Like, if you're not into that world, you're not going to rate this TV show anyways. Like, this TV show, production-wise, isn't.
No. So production is amazing. The production of the show is amazing.
No,
They're using
There's
the
going to be
same-
so many
it's
nuggets
the
too.
same
The
tech,
writing is great. It just
same
the
tech,
pace
same
of it is so
directors
for
as
me.
Mandalorian. So if you enjoyed Mandalorian, it's the same production.
Yeah.
No, but Mandalorian's production was fine, but they spent way too much time in the desert to save on like set costs and stuff. The set doesn't look near as vast. I don't know. For me, it's made fine, and if you're a Star Wars, Star Trek, or whatever space kind of sci-fi person, you'll make that. You'll extrapolate it. Now, I'm not saying this like Star Trek, Star Wars, same thing. I'm saying it in terms of sci-fi. If you're into sci-fi, you'll expand the world a little bit in your head, and you'll forgive its misfortunes on production
Yellowstone's
a lot more than
polluted your
someone
mind,
who's
man.
not a fan of that
That's
stuff
what's
watching
happening.
it.
Yellowstone shows random scenes of like mountains,
show.
and it's like, and then rodeo and like cowboying, which have no relevance to the story, but it's just part of the story, and you enjoy it.
It does. The show's about the essence of the West and the Cowboys, man. What are you talking
No,
about?
I'm saying
Robbie, you got this wrong.
I'm saying it's a good thing, right?
But I feel like Yellowstone
part of
as
the
a
story,
cowboy,
part of
because like, look,
exact same.
Yeah.
I just want to put it out there that there's certain flaws in Boba Fett that I think we need to just accept.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
not the greatest Star Wars story.
Fine. I'll admit that it's not as good as Mandalorian, but it's a good show. It's worth the watch.
See, that's where I think I could like tell someone, I'm like, yeah, you don't really need to watch Boba Fett. It really doesn't offer too much yet.
Yeah, and that's where I'm going to stop listening to you about TV shows. So make sure you get Spider-Man for me.
What do you mean,
I've
Spider-Man?
been trying,
Get
man.
Spider-Man for you. It's
I
on
wanted
the
to watch
box.
that too at this point, but yeah,
It's on the box.
I don't know why. Like, Spider-Man the movie,
It's a shit version.
I just figured that they'd have like it properly released by now, like considering all these mandates and restrictions happen. Theaters are closed down in Canada at least, but
Right?
it make it possible for people to watch like the decent version at home.
Yeah.
Like they did originally when COVID hit, where you could like download it right off Google or rent it from Google or rent it from Thing. The fact that they haven't done that for all the movies that were currently in the theater, which I don't think there were that many. Spider-Man was
This
one.
Matrix.
Yeah,
No.
gotta watch Matrix. Actually, was Matrix any good? Did you guys watch it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Is
It's good. I mean, it's not as great as the first one, but it's good.
Was it better than Boba Fett?
Can't compare. Different genres, completely different experience.
What? Sci-fi? They're both sci-fi. One's a sci-fi western. One's a sci-fi. I don't even know what.
One relies on a universe, okay, that feeds the
Universal.
soul. Where there's more to care about. It ties into a whole other network of movies.
Hold on. Matrix doesn't do that. Matrix had a universe that everyone thought was real.
Tricks.
that
Matrix is
everyone
just
still questioned.
Matrix. Matrix is just
Everyone
Matrix. Whereas Boba Fett is one show series that mixes in with Mandalorian. That's going to mix in with
It's gonna be sick.
oh my god,
Yeah.
what's his name? Obi-Wan Kenobi's series that's coming out. They're all gonna like merge and mix in.
I'm gonna say something that I think you guys need to just accept. I think Matrix had more of a cultural impact in the last
Than Star
30
Wars?
years than Star Wars.
Star Wars?
You know why? Because every single person, including Elon Musk, was like, I agree, we're living in a simulation just like the Matrix show. How many people are like, yeah, we're living in a
I
world
don't
just
get
like
the
Star
point here.
Wars?
I'm so confused.
So they don't believe in something like the Force.
No, I just mean, my thing was Matrix had more people, like, it blew more minds and in it had more critical thought, like more people thinking about and extrapolating on what the Matrix was trying to say philosophically than Star Wars has.
Let me put it to you this way: people on the census identify themselves as Jedi. Okay, it's a bigger deal.
No, man. Huh?
Oh, Robbie, your tech issues are so bad. Like, you can barely hear you.
I'm gonna find you a laptop here next week. I'm gonna send you with a mic.
No, I'm gonna send a request to that $5 million the Freedom Convoy got and ask for enough money to buy you a laptop.
Yo, those guys have raised $13 million. Like, why don't we come up with our own convoys?
$13 million?
$13 million.
No.
They had some crazy number.
That's it, 5 million or something.
5 million. Robbie saying, "Fuck you guys, I'm out. You guys go for it. I don't want to fuck up the audio." Bro, you're here. Just unmute yourself.
They're at 7.6 million, bro.
Okay. How much? 7.6? Robbie's heading to Ottawa. He's joining the truckers.
This is nuts.
So 7.6 million, that's, I guess, half of what I suggested, but still a lot.
It's huge, especially when, like, one of the organizers of the whole thing is separatist.
White supremacist.
Yeah, apparently there's tomorrow, Rich Lady. I don't know.
On that note, do you have anything else you want to add? Because I'm kind of...
No, let's see what patake happen on the hill tomorrow. Looking forward to it.
So we taking bets?
Violent act by Sunday, yes.
I feel like they know that violence could happen, that they're going to be extra secured.
Yeah, but their wires,
snipers on the roofs.
Their wires are going to cross. No, I'm not going to say they're going to be successful. Someone's going to do something stupid and violent.
Yes, Robbie said he's going to get us dinner. Food. I have food waiting for me downstairs. I'm hungry.
All right, boys.
Hold on, Robbie. Before you go, you can hear us. Violence, yes or no? He is saying violence. He's saying violence always. This is the way. Okay, Robbie is now being monitored by CSIS. All right, on that note, man, everyone, thank you for tuning in and listening to us yet again. And honestly, help us out. If you have any thoughts, comments, concern, we really don't care about your concerns too much. But hey, if you have anything to say, if you want us to cover or talk about something that you find interesting, TV shows, pop culture, politics, whatever, just comment on any one of the threads and it'll come on our radar because honestly, we're so small that nothing gets past us.
Exactly. Plus, we're going to have, I don't care what these guys say, we're going to have so many guests. Huge lineup. Superstars.
Huge guests. Buddy, if we can't get our own co-host understanding how to use this thing, how are we supposed to get guests on par?
Well,
this is straight. Low-key, I like this Discord flex because it's so much easier to manage than having to set up cables and reset up mics and make sure the record button. You know how many episodes we lost of this podcast because like there was a technical glitch with like the mixer or something?
Yeah.
This is beautiful. Mine is like Robbie not being able to talk. But I like that. Even if we do this in person, we got to figure out a way to do it over Discord. We'll just be sitting there with a dedicated camera. Yeah, sit in separate rooms so we can hear each other yell over each other. But on that note, everyone take it easy. Peace.